Hello again, folks. Welcome back to Canada's Boxing Channel. Hope everyone's doing well. And if you like this video, please like, please share, please subscribe. It'd be really good to get some more subscribers. For ages, I was stuck on 666, the mark of the beast. Now it's gone up to, I think, 668, 667 maybe. So let's see if we can get away from this 666 thing. That's kind of troubling. Anyhow, few weeks ago, I guess, I did a video asking would Dave Allen get screwed over. And in that video, I laid out a thought that perhaps Johnny Fisher might swerve Dave Allen. And what was sort of leading me down that path was a couple of interviews that Eddie Hearn gave, in which he alluded to monetary issues. You know, he said, oh, well, you know, it's going to be commercially viable, and Dave Allen's, you know, asking for too much, but I haven't spoken to him about money yet. So it was a weird thing, you know, like, how could somebody ask for too much money, and then in the same sentence you say you've not spoken to them? It sort of set off my you know, internal skepticism, which is never far from the surface, as you know if you've seen a few of these videos. But anyways, it appears that, of course, the deal is done. Johnny Fisher, Dave Allen too, is signed and sealed, and they've had their first press conference, and that's all very good. And I did a video about that yesterday, day before. As you know, when you know, I don't work, so all the days roll into the same, right? So I hope my wife doesn't see this, because I tell her that I'm busy out there doing chores, looking after horses, walking dogs into the ground and whatnot. But the reality is, of course, that the days do sort of take on a little bit of a similarity, shall we say. But anyways, the deal is done, of course, as I was saying. But I watched a video, I guess I watched it yesterday, and it's on Dave Allen's own channel. He's got his own YouTube channel, which has been remarkably successful. Really, really good for him. And he was talking about the background to this deal. And he said that, you know, he was told originally, after the first fight, that everybody was keen to have a rematch. And then there was a bit of radio silence. Didn't hear much at all. And then there was talk again. And he was told that both Johnny Fisher and Johnny Fisher's dad, who is clearly instrumental in Johnny Fisher's career, they were keen. And then it sort of went quiet again. It sounds like he was put on a little bit of a roller coaster. But Dave Allen seems a very placid fellow, really not at all sort of reactive, a much more mature and composed fellow, you know. And he was talking, well, maybe I'll have to go back to do small hall shows. It sounds like he was sort of very passive about it, laid back. And he said that, you know, it's not his style to push things. And I can see that. He's in the ring, he'd be a terror, but of course outside of the ring he seems very, very laid back. He's probably going to live much, much longer than people who are hair trigger. Anyhow, he said that he'd even thought about a fight with Hughie Fury. And at first, when I was listening to it, I thought he said Tyson Fury. I thought, oh my goodness. But anyways, Hughie Fury, the Fury that nobody seems to want to, you know, put on a card. Likely possibly something to do with Peter Fury not shining too many shoes. Anyhow, eventually he got, Dave Allen this is, he got an offer from Eddie Hearn. Apparently they'd met in Manchester. And he was given a number. And then he said, no, that number's too low. I'm not going to fight for that. It's not what I want. Well, a little bit more time elapsed. And he gets another offer, lower than the first offer. So he remonstrated about that, and I guess he was using Jamie Moore as a go-between to negotiate on his behalf, etc. Well, and a third offer comes back, and it's the same offer as the first offer, which he'd already said no to because it was too low. And eventually he said, well, okay, because he was told, this is the final offer. Yes. Yeah, so many times have we bought cars, for example, and we've been told, oh, this is as low as we'll go. Final offer, we're giving it away. And so you say, okay, well, thank you very much. I'll go and have a look at the dealership next door. Oh, wait, no, wait. So, we all know how this is done, right? And it's no difference between buying a car and, buying a business or a house or anything, really. But anyways, Dave Allen decided, I suppose, that he for whatever reason, he sort of believed it was a final offer. But then he sort of, played around the edges a little bit, and he's asked Matchroom to do something in his local community for boxing, which again speaks to the quality of the man, doesn't it, really? And he's asked Matchroom to make room for some of his fighters, because Dave Allen manages fighters himself on cards. Whether it's on this card or another card, it wasn't abundantly clear to me. And so, he said that I think Eddie Hearn likes me. I know it's a business, but I think Eddie likes me. My dad doesn't think Eddie likes me. My dad thinks that Eddie's always teasing me. Mr. Allen, if you're watching this, your dad is probably right. Just FYI. But anyhow, Dave Allen, he seems such a likable fellow. I mean, it makes one want to represent him, to be perfectly honest, and to bring a degree of sort of professional negotiating skills to the table, because it seems to me that he's too likable to be negotiating on his own behalf, So they say the lawyer that represents himself as a fool for a client, don't they? Anyhow, there we go. It's done deal, and it does appear that the spendthrifty Eddie Hearn, who is clearly worth more money than one can shake a stick at, has been somewhat parsimonious in his dealings with Dave Allen. But Dave Allen has accepted it. He understands it's a business, and he said it's not quite a career high. It's a little bit less than what he got paid for price, which, if one takes into account the rate of inflation, the value of money over time, etc., possibly substantially less in terms of buying power. But he still feels that it's good money. And it was sort of like, these are my words, of course, not his, I'm not really worth that much, and so, okay, well, I'll take it. It's sort of, he seems to undervalue himself, or maybe he's just being dead on realistic. I don't know. He said that he spoken to Johnny Fisher, and he doesn't let Johnny Fisher get under his skin. He's saying Johnny Fisher was teasing him about having quit on his stool a few times. And he said, yes, absolutely, I'd have. Everybody's got their breaking point, and I know what mine is. He talked about how David Price, and he did say something that was quite mature. He said he hopes that it doesn't come back to bite Johnny Fisher on the arse, as it were. Johnny Fisher, it's easy for young Fisher to be saying, you quit on your stool, sort of, not something I would ever do, or kind of thing. Well, we shall have to see. Probably not in the Dave Allen fight, but you never know, right? As they say, don't write checks with your mouth, you can't cash with your ass, right? So anyhow, I suppose it's the difference between being in your early 30s and your mid-20s, having a lot of experience in a profession and having had nothing but really success and hyperbole. One hopes that this never, of course, happens to Johnny Fisher, but, he may rue the day that he was saying that. He seems confident, Dave Allen this is, of course, seems confident about the upcoming fight. He says he's carrying a bit of extra weight on him, but he's fit and doesn't want to peak too soon and all that good stuff. So, it remains to be seen. I hope that Dave Allen gets razor sharp. I hope that Dave Allen goes in there and gives Johnny Fisher an absolute, comprehensive beating, stopping Johnny Fisher ideally so it doesn't go to the cards. And I mean this with nothing against Johnny Fisher at all. He seems like a very likable fellow. But I'd like to see good things for Dave Allen. He seems such a decent guy. Of course, this is just me watching some fellow on camera on his own YouTube channel, and the way he deports himself in press conferences and the way he deports himself in the ring. I think he's a nice guy. I could be totally wrong, but my observations. Anyhow, like I say, please like, please share, please subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Oh, and please also subscribe to my friend Andy, who's not from Aberdeen, his show Andy's Cavern. Another excellent small channel like mine, similar vibe, but with a different accent. Okay, folks, thanks very much. See you on the next one. Cheers.